hoping to stop another West African coup in its tracks. Niger's Western backers and the regional bloc ECOWAS have frozen millions of dollars in aid. And on Sunday, Chad's President Idriss Déby met with Niger's ousted leader Mohamed Bazoum and separately with coup leader Abdourahmane Tiani in an effort to end the crisis.
I am not able to tell you what they have discussed. You have seen President Déby. He has met with the president and with the putschists. And what I can tell you is that at the end of these meetings, he returned to Chad. So I believe that very soon we will hear about the conclusions of these meetings. What I know is that everything is in place for the constitutional order to be re-established as soon as possible.
Such measures may include the use of force.
But it's the threat of direct intervention that has alarmed Niger's military. On Sunday, ECOWAS threatened to use force unless civilian rule was restored within a week. And coup leaders have accused France, which has thousands of troops in Niger, of plotting an attack. That's been denied by Paris. Neighbouring Mali and Burkina Faso, themselves governed by military juntas, have rallied around the officers who ousted President Bazoum.
We refuse to apply these illegal, illegitimate and inhumane sanctions against the people of Niger. We warn that any military intervention against Niger will be considered as a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali.
The US hasn't announced any sanctions so far, instead offering Niger's military time to reverse course.
We haven't made a determination yet because it is still an ongoing fluid situation. It is clear that there has been an attempt to remove President Bazoum from office. It's not yet clear that attempt will ultimately be successful, so U.S. assistance hinges on continued democratic governance in Niger.
And if Niger's military isn't swayed by the exodus of much-needed aid, it'll likely be felt by the millions of people living in one of the world's poorest countries. Alex Beard, Al Jazeera.
Well, Cameron Hudson is a senior associate at the Centre for Strategic and International Studies. He says the treatment of the deposed president is not what you would typically expect.
I've been saying this from the beginning. I mean, he has a telephone. That telephone is reportedly being monitored by the junta, but he's able to receive calls. So he's received in the last few days calls from the Secretary of State, our UN ambassador, other world leaders. He has tweeted on a number of occasions, essentially saying that democracy would be restored in Niger. So not at all like a typical coup where he has been asked to sign a resignation paper. Normally, they don't go through the process of demanding that a head of state resign. Simply the fact that the coup has taken place is sufficient typically. And so I think what that's doing, however, is it's creating this moment where countries like the United States are not prepared to declare this coup over and a sort of fait accompli by the military, which is why I think we have not seen a kind of declaration from Western countries that this coup is done. I think countries like the United States and France are in a very difficult position right now, because if they walk away from this coup, if they sort of throw their hands up and say that the coup is done and they do that too quickly, it will really look like an abandonment of one of the kind of bright democratic examples in the region and send very bad examples to other struggling democracies across the continent.